All right, it's buffering.
All right, looks like we're going live. And bear
Yes.
with me, I have a slow internet connection and many windows open.
Oh, no worries, no worries.
All right, looks like we're going live.
Okay, we are live.
All right,
Okay.
and we're live.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, I'm looking for it to show up on my screen. There's a bit of a delay between, I guess, the mainland and Hawaii. All right, can you see the chat already?
Yes, I can see the chat. We have Huawei Apple,
right.
just says, hi, guys.
Hi, Huawei Apple.
Hey, everyone. Okay. You ready to start?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Second, I was seeing myself in delay. All right. Welcome, everyone, to the Cardano Effect podcast, episode 40. The purpose of this podcast is to take high-level developer information and projects that are occurring within the Cardano space and break them down into bite-sized, consumable pieces of information for everyday use. I'm your host, Philippe, and let's get this podcast started. So it's Rick and myself. We are the two hosts of the Cardano Effect podcast today. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. It is a Sunday. I hope everyone is doing well. Thanks for joining us. This is our weekly live streams. This is our third one. It's been going pretty well. We've been getting good feedback. If you're watching this and you're not a fan of our live streams, the beauty of the Cardano Effect podcast is that we curate a lot of different content. So come back and join us when the episode interests you. Sometimes you just want to hear us two talk, or sometimes you want to hear a special guest. But we label everything and make sure that it's as easy as possible to access our episodes. Please consider subscribing to the Cardano Effect podcast. Just hit that subscribe button. We're trying to grow this podcast, and it's been growing tremendously. So we really appreciate all the support. You can reach out to us on Reddit, Twitter, Telegram. We have lots of different platforms that we're very active on. Episode 39, we had Professor Simon Thompson, and we talked about Marlowe. Very good episode. And we have another episode that's going to be launching this week with Lars and Paulina regarding the Plutus book. We recorded it yesterday. It went very well. So go check that out. And it's on Amazon and LearnPub, I believe. So that's that. Today's format, we're going to be going over the weekly recap, everything that happened in Cardano for the week. We're also going to be looking at YouTube comments and trying to interact with you in the best possible way. So let's have the informal conversation, and I hope everyone is doing well this weekend. Thanks for taking time out of your day. And remember that none of what we say on this podcast is financial advice or should be taken as such. You are your best financial advisor, and if you don't think you are, you need to find someone who's qualified to do so. So without further ado, Rick, how you doing today? What's going on?
Hey, Philippe, I'm doing great today. Thanks for asking, man. In Hawaii, of course. So aloha. And we're going to do our Reddit recap today, or our community media recap today. And we use Reddit as our guidepost because Reddit is a very effective means for sorting and organizing information. So once we get on over to Reddit, we're going to be sorting by top and this week. So if you want to follow along with the comments there, the key point with our podcast, with this live cast, is to get viewer feedback on to get your inputs while we're doing a live feed on the subjects that are out there, because real-time live interaction is very good for people, and the more we do it, the better we'll get at it, as long as we practice and keep improving. So that's the goal, is to give you guys a medium or platform to give real-time feedback on the subjects of interest that are out there, and we're using Reddit as our means of facilitating that. Now, before we go into Reddit, Philippe and I wanted to talk about price and the price of ADA, because price seems to be a driving factor. It's also number 2 in our Reddit this week. There's a very well-written post on the number 2 position, and we look forward to that. There was another thing Philippe and I were going to talk about too, so we're going to touch on. We launched the competition, right?
Yes. There were a few commenters who picked up on it. Rick, do you want to go into more detail?
Yeah, I can only go into so much detail because it's episode 39. So at episode 39, we launched a competition. The winnings is 10,000 ADA if you win the competition. We don't know how it works. We have no idea. Trusted agents built this competition, and it should be a whole lot of fun. If you want to team up and form groups to try to solve this puzzle that has been deployed, the first and only clue to get you started is episode 39. And that's it. And if you ask Philippe and I questions, we won't be able to answer them because we don't know how it works.
Yes. We had no involvement with creating this. We just know about this. So yeah, it should be fun, and the competition is open. So you can go and check episode 39 with Professor Thompson and see whether or not you can pick up on the puzzle.
Yeah, pick up on what's happening. And someone did catch it. They mentioned it, freaking flyover or something like that. One of the users on there. I'm not on that channel right now, but someone did pick up on it.
Yes.
Let's see here. I'm still trying to get, but I have really bad internet lag, so I apologize if anything goes wrong. So competition has been launched, 10,000 ADA. So check that out. See if you can figure it out. It should be a lot of fun. Yes. There it goes. I finally got the live feed in Hawaii. I don't know if it's buffered by the content delivery networks, but I can see there's a lot of people in chat.
Yes.
And I still got a swirl. So I have a really bad internet connection. I apologize. We were going to talk about price, not financial advice. Philippe and I are not financial advisors. We cannot do financial advice. But price is on a lot of people's mind because of ADA tanked. But not just ADA, all altcoins.
Yes.
And I see a lot of comments like people are asking, when's alt season? I think we already had it. I think alt season was that little bump in April, May, and it's over. We might never see another alt season like we saw in 2018. There's too many good projects out there. It's diluted. All of the available funds that we have, what little funds I have, I'm spent, man. I can't buy anymore.
There are going to have to be new investors and new people that come in and bump up the price. But I think that this is a game. It's a long game. And when I see the prices decline like this, I mean, it has no indication of how the project itself is doing, because you can check to see how the project is doing. You can follow GitHub. You can be on Twitter, follow the developers, and see exactly what's moving and what's progressing within Cardano. And, the price, it'll go up when it goes up. And when it goes up, it's really going to go up. And that's just my feeling.
Yeah. And Mike Porter says in chat, thanks for the comments, Mike Porter. He says, please explain the details of value. Well, the details of value are something is scarce and desirable. If it's desirable, people want it, and it's scarce, the value goes up. And right now, crypto's not scarce. Altcoins are not scarce. There are tons and tons of good altcoin projects out there. And I don't want to promote or demote any one of them. There's just a lot of good projects out there, and the money's diluted. So the scarcity is gone. I know a lot of times you'll see people comment and say, oh, well, fiat, you can just print an endless supply of money. Well, okay. You know what? Guess what? With software, you can fork an endless supply of coins if you want, because that's what's happening. That's what's been happening the last year or so. So it's diluted the amount of available funds.
Yes.
So the only way for the price to go back up is new people, new money, greater mass adoption.
Yes. Yes. Definitely. Definitely.
Plus, whatever your ideas are, whatever your thoughts are.
Definitely. No. I mean, we also need to. This is the time where you're building or you're investing. You're figuring out which projects you really want to be part of, and this is the growing period. So the moves that you make today are going to be felt 5 years from now, 5 years from now, maybe 10 years. But it's a long-term game. So just like the Bitcoin early hodlers, they took a decade to become multimillionaires / billionaires. It's going to take a while as well. So you got to give it time. This project has only been around we're approaching our 2-year mark. So you have to give it time. It will happen when it happens. We have a question from Whitey in Vermont. When do you think that people will be able to start using staking pools when Shelly launches? That should be immediate, because once the update goes live and within Daedalus, you're going to see the user interface. There's going to be a staking staking pool center where you can delegate your stake. So once that update gets sent, you're going to be able to stake. It's just going to go as soon as it hits mainnet, staking happens.
Yeah, it does. And I think it'll be about December of 2019. And there's also another good question from Mike Porter. He said, why did they release so many Cardano? The answer to that is a lot of people explain that the number of Cardano is arbitrary. I particularly happen to like the fact that there's 45 billion total out there. Right, currently there's 31 billion. I like that there's a large amount because as the value goes up, the numbers will still make sense. Like if ADA was $1, I could buy a taco for $1. I could buy a taco for 1 ADA. 1 ADA fits in my head. I don't want to buy a taco for 0.0017352638 ADA. You know what I mean? It's just like, what? You know, like if you were to buy it in Bitcoin right now, if I was to buy a taco in Bitcoin, it would be some real, I got to make sure there's like 7 zeros before I have a digit at the end so that I don't accidentally spend $1,000 instead of $1. So
exactly.
I like the large quantity of ADA. Plus, when staking goes online, I'm hoping, as long as I understand it correctly, that greater than 51% of ADA is staked so that it provides the 51% attack resistance to the network. So you'll have so much ADA that's going to be staked, so much ADA applied to smart contracts, and so much ADA exchanging hands. And of course, traders, traders are always going to have it out there on the exchange, just ready to make that trade. I can't do day trading, but it's just not for me. But I think that is one of the reasons why there's so many ADA. You know, they say you can just move the decimal point over.
Yes.
Which is true.
The numbers make sense. The numbers make sense. And the quantity doesn't really matter. It's percentage gains are percentage gains. If it goes from 5 cents today to 10 cents, that's a 2x. You know, Bitcoin has to go from 11K to 22K to 2x. The proportions are the same. The math all balances itself out. And if we're really going to be enticing to financial institutions, we need to have a robust supply, but also if we're going to be spending it for individual transactions or individual smart contracts, like you were saying, let's not measure our value in Satoshi. Let's say, oh, you know, we need to send 90 ADA for this contract, or 10 ADA for this contract, or let me send this person 120 ADA. It makes a lot more sense to me. The numbers are whole, and yeah, I think the math works.
Yeah, and hopefully someday we'll be measuring value in Lovelaces.
Yes.
Mentioned by trade feeds on there. All right. You ready to go on to Reddit? And we'll check questions. So we're going to go through the content, and we'll come over to chat and go back and forth between the two to keep you guys engaged.
Okay.
All right. So on Reddit, you want to take the first one there? And this one's going to be the screen share, right?
Yes. So we'll take the first one. The first one is 1.6 is shipping. So Charles Hoskinson sent out a tweet that said, we are shipping the 1.6 Cardano update over the next few days. Send me some screenshots of the new data list and let me know if you like it. A lot of great work went into this release, and I'm extremely proud of the team. So the data list update, the Cardano 1.6 update, it looks very clean. So if you haven't updated, it's a very quick update. It actually surprised me how quick it is. And there's a lot of stuff happening in the back end, but the front end has also improved. So congratulations to the front-end development team at IOHK. We had Marcus Herney on, and he is a front-end developer for Datalist. So they did a good job with the schematics of Datalist. And if I'm not mistaken, Rick, you were going to take us through a quick screen share to show the viewers exactly what that looks like.
Yeah, for anybody who hasn't updated yet, and the question from Charles, give him some feedback. I love it. It's fantastic. Great upgrades. Let's get right to it. I'm going to launch the testnet version so that it has to sync, okay? Because my real one is already synced, so I'm going to share.
And I'd like to remind everyone that everything said on this podcast, we're not going to shy away from any questions, and everything that we say is correct until we're proven otherwise. So if we say something incorrect, we invite anyone from IOHK, Emergo, or the Cardano Foundation to come and correct us, or anyone from the community. Correct us. And here is Datalist. So Rick is connecting to network right now. So syncing the blocks. Is this
This is the testnet version 0.14.0 number 3.03. Now the number is slightly different. The 6920 right now it's on like 7122 or something like that. But visually, graphically, technology-wise, it's the same one, slight variation. So you see it synchronizing. Here's the most awesome new feature. I love simple. Let me know from the viewers if you can see this, but you see these indicators here, and you can select the indicator, and it brings up the overlay. So that if you were ever having problems while it was booting, you could turn on the overlay and check to see if it's connected, yes, synced, yes. If check time here, and if any problems that you might have had during the boot process, you'll have amplifying information on this display. You can restart your Cardano node here. On the test net, you have this real-time statistics monitor that should not be on the real one. I'll launch the real Daedalus and let that sync up. And this is a testament to Daedalus performance. Right now, I have really, really, really bad internet in this hotel. And the Daedalus is still functioning perfectly fine. And I'm running multiple streaming applications, Zencaster and Zoom and YouTube and all that stuff. And it's still working. I could check my bandwidth, but anyway, if you want to restart, if you have to restart the node, you can hit that button here, and that will restart the node. Might get some strange indications here. Of course, it's a live stream. And if the node's not responding, you select this. This is what I was trying to do. Here's my indicators. If I'm not connected, I'm not synced, the node is not responding, the time's not correct, or time is correct. So you have this interesting amplifying data here. You also have some performance data up here about your system that you have it loaded on. Okay, so I'm going to shut down the testnet version. It's coming, it looks like it's coming back up. You see well, I'll leave the testnet version back on for a minute. You see how it has the animated graphic? I really like that graphic.
Yes.
Darko Majik did a demo of this. If you want to see better information on that, check out Darko Majik's demo. And the node recovered in a bandwidth limited environment. So you can see that it recovered. And this is testnet. Well, let me just continue with the testnet because graphically everything else is the same. The only thing different was that real-time stats monitor on the testnet overlay. You can get back to that overlay by going to the top left here and selecting the, I forgot, diagnostics.
Yes.
And it comes back to the screen. And it's easier to find now because some of the improvements is they organized the menu into a much more intuitive manner to where the help menu has all of your different help features. And it'll take you, if you click on a support request, it'll take you over to the IOHK Zendesk. So if anyone has technical issues, the #1 place to get help is at the Zendesk. Philippe, there's something you wanted me to show. Is it the themes or something like that?
Yes. So the themes, you can change the color schematics of your Daedalus wallet. So I made a video about this on my channel, and I think that personalization is very good, especially if we're trying to go to mass adoption. We want to make sure that it's as easily accessible for as many people as possible. So think about a child using this in the future, or someone that's maybe older, or someone that just wants to be personalized, have a personalized wallet. And these are the kind of things that we need in order to appeal to the masses, because we want to try to bring it from developer-centered to consumer-centered. And I think that everyone would probably agree with that.
Yep. And there's some variation of the themes I just went through, so you can see how to get to that.
I'm seeing some questions about ledger support for Daedalus. Ledger support will come. I'm not sure when it will. I mean, I've heard in the rumor mill that we could get ledger support when staking comes out, but it will eventually come. But for now, you can use Ledger with Yoroi, and you can also use Trezor with Yoroi. So those are the two hardware wallet options that you can use with Yoroi. But Daedalus, yeah, I agree. Ledger support, I'm waiting for that too, because I like Daedalus a lot.
Yeah, Ledger support will be there. And Daedalus will eventually become like the App Store.
Yes.
So people ask a lot of questions I see on tech support. Daedalus. It depends what you want. Yoroi does paper wallets now. Daedalus is a full node. So when you run Daedalus, there is some, it's going to use some computer resources, but it's also supporting the network.
Yes.
And I think eventually we'll understand what is the difference between running Daedalus and running Jormungandr as a full node. There might be a difference, maybe not. I don't know. I'll have to ask about that. All right. So that was our Daedalus 1.6. Any other questions on that? Do we have questions in chat?
I am looking through chat right now. I see a lot of questions about Ledger support. And CAP says not using Daedalus without Ledger. And yeah.
John Anderson asked a really good question here. He said, why does EOS file for patents and Cardano does not? It's just a different business practice. And some business practices, we'll see. We'll see which one works out better. The Cardano business practice is the source is open code. IOHK does not patent many things. They use open source licensing and Creative Commons licensing on a lot of their products. So you get maximum shareability, and they want maximum exposure. They want people to replicate the code.
Yes.
The Cardano code. It's just a different business approach. That's some in different strokes for different folks.
We'll see what method is most successful, whether going that open source route or patent route is successful in the years to come, because there are advantages and drawbacks for each of those. I mean, while if you patent your stuff and your code is private, you may exist in a silo with only a small group of people. It may be harder to bring on board people, but at the same time, when you give everything away, it also may dilute, or projects may take certain aspects from you and try to grow. But I think the whole theme of cryptocurrency is trying to be as open as possible and decreasing the barrier to entry. So in the spirit of trying to bring as many people within the financial ecosystem, it would make sense to open source and allow anyone to communicate with your project. That's personally my opinion.
Yeah, and I think they do trademark names and logos and stuff like that, because you have to protect your brand. And the only way you can protect your brand is by trademarking it. And for example, if someone put a garbage app and used Cardano's name on the app store, the only way you could bring it down authoritatively is by having it trademarked and going to Google or Apple and saying, hey, you need to get that app off of there. That's not a good app. And they're violating our trademark by doing it. And it's also working effectively on, there's a Telegram channel that took the Cardano name, and it's a troll box. And it's taking a lot of work to get them out of there. It's taking a lot of pressure from the community, and Josh and Andy and a lot of people are putting a lot of work trying to rein in that Telegram channel that violated the Cardano name. They're violating trademark with what they're doing. So some things are trademarked, but as far as the code and the educational content, it's not. It's mostly open source or Creative Commons licensed. So I think that answers it.
Yes.
Back to Reddit.
Back to Reddit. You get the second post?
Second post is, let me make sure I got this in the right order. Oh, yeah. Second post is fantastic. It's called Remember These Times, They Won't Last Forever. It's a post by user nmark1996 from 5 days ago. And this deserves a little bit of a read on here. nmark says, very well written paragraphs here. He says, I know a lot of Cardano supporters have been holding strong as they see the price of ADA slowly drop over the last 1.5 years. And I know at times it seems like the bleeding will never end and the heartache will only continue with your investments, but this will not be the case. People need to remember that this caged animal entered the market in October 2017, or the end of the last bull market, and saw some ridiculous gains in that short period of time. But saying that, Cardano never had a chance to establish itself in the market. And the expectations instantly rose after it reached highs in January of 2018, as now people are disgusted with the sight of 10-cent or 5-cent ADA. I would consider ourselves lucky. People may think that everyone knows about cryptocurrency and blockchain, but that is far from the truth. The room to grow is inconceivable. No one knows where this is going. No one can tell you how this technology is going to change our future and to what extent. And people want to complain about a pretty good entry into this possibility. Imagine never hearing about cryptocurrency at all and being someone who gets in 3 or more years from now. Isn't that a scary thought? And then he goes on to explain at the end, the last paragraph, finally he goes on to say, I know a lot of people complain about the delays. That's been another big set of delays. Very well written post by nmark1996. Thank you for that. And he's right. We mentioned price at the beginning of the program, and 5-cent ADA, okay. Not financial advice, but I'm willing to take the risk at that price. I mean, what's Bitcoin right now? 10,000?
You know, this is the early game for Cardano. The early game. The choices that you make now are going to affect the future, and you know, it's a risk that you have to take. And I understand, because there's a lot of verbiage that gets thrown around in crypto, like don't invest more than you can afford to lose, and that's always said by some crypto millionaire or billionaire who already made their bags. But at the end of the day, they probably invested more than they could afford to lose at one point. Not saying that's a good financial advice. I'm just saying that if you're a working person, every dollar you can't afford to lose. So it's a risk. So we understand that completely. So it's understandable to get emotional. But at some point, if they built their wealth themselves and it wasn't handed to them, they had to take a risk that was disproportionate to their net worth. And I'm not saying you should do that, because that's terrible financial advice. But I'm just saying that understand that without any risk, there's no reward. So, and you have to sit through the process.
Yep. And my take on that is we have you've got, I refer to the price of Bitcoin. You have Bitcoin maximalists out there. People are worried about the price of ADA right now being at 5 cents. Bitcoin used to be 5 cents. But you know who the Bitcoin maximalists are? The people who bought Bitcoin at 5 cents and they're still sitting on it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm making some assumptions by saying that, but it's probably a pretty accurate statement. If people sold it 10,000 or 18,000 last year, they're probably not maximalists anymore.
Yeah.
Because Ethereum's a better technology.
Yes, it is. It is.
You know?
I mean, Bitcoin is great, but I mean, it's not the end all for everything. It doesn't solve every problem. Transaction fees are still out of control. They're still going to go higher once the network gets clogged. Block sizes it takes 10 minutes for confirmation. And if it's clogged, it's going to take even longer. It's not the way to progress money in the future. There are more cost-effective ways that exist within the fiat system, especially for people living in Western countries. I'm not putting everyone in that same category, but it's easier for me to spend cash. It's easier for me to use my credit card than use Bitcoin. So we need something in cryptocurrency that's a little bit revolutionary, that's going to take it to the next level. We need smart contracts. We need staking. We need something that's more involved. And Bitcoin's great, but we need something third generation. And I think that's what Cardano is going to be.
Yep. And we have another post coming up on that. There's a post about the Simply Explained that's number 9 on the list today. And we have a comment here from Manager Mister, and he says, I'm trying to trade an American muscle car for more ADA. That's how much I believe in this project. I totally agree, Mr. Manager. I'm trying to sell a motorcycle. I got a motorcycle. I'll buy more ADA if anyone's going to buy a motorcycle. Or I'll just sell the motorcycle for straight ADA, but I got no take on it. Sell that muscle car, buy ADA, not financial advice. I'm doing this thing. That's all I can say. I'm going to sell my old bike, and when ADA moons, I'm going to buy me an Indian. No Lambo, man. Getting an Indian. Trade your muscle car in. Corvette's coming out with a mid-engine Corvette next year. Trade that muscle car in, he's going to end up with a Corvette. Mid-engine in 2020.
Yeah.
All right, the next post.
Okay.
Sorry, man.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good.
My next post is an advertisement. You can take number 3, Philippe.
Okay, sounds good. So the next one is you can now accept ADA on your website using Now Payments, fee-free and custody-free. So I believe that this is something that a plugin that you can use to your website to accept ADA, which is wonderful. It's always good to increase adoption by facilitating payment transactions. So having little plugins for stores or e-commerce stores is wonderful. I like to add that I think that's, right now we're not at the point where we can sell products. Like we can't sell smart contracts or sell staking services or anything like that. So it would be nice to see if we can get some more community involvement and community support for Cardano related products, or more of a wide breadth of products. So people can get very excited and you can bring people in. So they're spending their ADA for Cardano memorabilia or things that could advertise the project and try to get the name out. It's not even about people investing, just name recognition is very important. So yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah, the company there's nowpayments.io, and what some of these companies do is if you go to send ADA, if you have a website plugin, you go to send ADA in, it'll convert it. So they work with multiple cryptocurrencies. I can't vouch for that company, but I can say I admire the small businesses who are trying. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I agree.
Those entrepreneurs out there are taking significant risk in trying to make this work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those nowpayments.io. So good for you guys.
Yes.
Good for you, small people out there. You're awesome.
Yes.
We need more people like you. Good luck with success. All right. Let me see any comments on that article. Mass adoption says BTC is killing the planet with all the energy consumption. It's a lot of energy.
It is. It is a lot of energy.
300. It's the worth of energy per hour.
Rick, you're coming in and out. I think we may have lost Rick. Hold on one second.
Is it?
Rick? I think we lost Rick. So Rick will probably have to log back in. I think he'll have to log back in. But yeah, Rick, are you coming in and out? Okay, Rick will realize that he's been booted. So yeah, he's gonna probably log back in pretty soon. But the electricity usage of Bitcoin is a real thing. If you can go to, I believe it's called digeconomist.net/Bitcoin-energy-consumption, you can see the amount of terawatt hours that Bitcoin uses per year, and it's staggering. And you have to remember, the bigger the network grows, the more people that are onboarded onto Bitcoin, you're going to have more mining machines. It's going to take more electricity to secure the network. That's how proof of work works. And Bitcoin will always have enough mining power in order to continue, but also the electricity usage will continue. So I believe that Bitcoin is on par to match the energy requirements for most of these credit card companies. So Bitcoin was touted as this solution to this clean digital solution to provide financial services for everyone. But in reality, it's probably going to grow bigger and consume more power than any other form of payment today. And people say green energy, a lot of it is being used to mine, like hydroelectric power and wind power, but those things have to be created. Wind turbines have to be created. Those still have an impact on the environment. In addition, those ASIC miners, they're crap after, 6 months to a year. They just throw them in a landfill. So it's a lot of hardware for what? Proof of stake is the future. Everyone's going to be able to do proof of stake. You're going to be able to log into your data list. You're going to be able to log into your DOI. You're not going to have to keep your computer running for 24/7. You're just going to be able to delegate and then collect your rewards after the end of an epoch. And like Charles was saying, that one video, he thinks that you could run theoretically. Of course, it's probably going to be a lot more energy intensive. But you could run 1,000 nodes on a Rock Pi, and Cardano would run perfectly fine, which would take the electricity usage of a few space heaters, which is a tremendously low amount of energy. Of course, that's the minimum. It's not going to be that low, but we're not going to be working with terawatt hours for sure. And our network is going to be just as provably secure as the Bitcoin network. So that's something to look forward to. And we're trying to create something new and something innovative. So that means decreasing our energy input while increasing our efficiency. Rick, you're back?
I guess so. I guess I'm back. That's how bad my internet is here. It's really bad. Hotel internet is always really bad. You know, I came in and I heard what you were saying. I'm going to make a speculative comment on running a node.
Okay.
My bet is that a Samsung Galaxy Note 10, you can run Ubuntu on it, and it has cellular capability. And my bet is that I'll bet 100 ADA on this. I will bet 100 ADA. Oh, but to only one person. Okay. You'll be able to install Jormungandr or a staking pool on a Samsung Note S10, and it will be an entirely standalone node. And you could put it anywhere in the world you have cellular connection. So it'll have the operating system, the staking node, and the communication capabilities all inside one box the size of a cell phone. And I think that will happen by, as long as Shelley deploys by December, which I believe it will, you'll see that by March of next year. Some clever person out there with a Samsung Note 10 will launch a staking node in a standalone tiny little box running at watts, 20 watts or less. I don't know. Very small power node, completely self-contained node.
Rick, if it can be run on a Rock Pi, it definitely will be able to be run on a Samsung device. And I agree with you. I'm not taking that bet, by the way, because I agree with you.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Any takers out there, let me know in chat, because I want to make 100 data.
We need to get smart contracts out so we can start making these bets official, and we don't even have to worry about fund disbursement. We can write it up in some kind of bet smart contract, and just the funds get released after a given time period. That would be fun.
Yeah. In 10 years from now, I'll be crying. I was like, I can't believe I lost 100 ADA.
Yeah.
It's like those people like on The Big Bang Theory. They had an episode where they're digging through a trash heap looking for a computer that had Bitcoin on it.
Yeah.
That's not going to be me.
Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of people have had, well, some people have had extreme heartache that have lost tremendous amounts of Bitcoin. And but opportunities don't present themselves once, especially if it's a new industry. So there are going to be other unicorn type projects, and Cardano has a chance to do something like Bitcoin is doing. And I'm not saying it's going to overtake Bitcoin. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but it has the chance to do something exponential.
Yes. And it'll share that market with other like altcoins.
Yes.
That's the plan.
Yes.
There are other good and like altcoins out there.
Yes. It's not just going to be Cardano.
And I got to give them props.
Yes.
All right. So which one are we on? I lost track with the the entire hotel lost internet because everything went out.
Okay. We did the accepting ADA with now payments. So the fee free and custody free. So the next one is, you want to take the next one?
Oh, the next one was the Charles Hoskinson 1.6 update. So that one was the revisit. So the one after that would be Cardano named top 50 Crypto Valley project number 3, world's biggest protocol project. And yeah, so it's named in the top 50. I saw this article earlier and there's a YouTube video on it where it's named a top 50 Crypto Valley project and the number 3 world's biggest protocol project. I don't have any more details on that other than the YouTube video that's linked there.
Yeah.
I don't know. So if you guys want more information, check out that post. It did make it up the list pretty far. Let's go to the next one. Yes.
So this one is from Crypto Rags to Riches, and this one's taking a step back and overall perspective. So I did not read this, but The premise of it is Cardano is constantly getting bashed for getting delayed over and over again. Let's step back and take a look at Cardano's original plans and goals, and basically saying that the milestone of Byron is completed and milestone Shelley, Gauguin, they're in testing and near completion. So just taking the conclusion of this is just take a step back and look at the entire progress of the project, and don't focus on a specific focal point, because you end up missing the bigger picture. IOHK is doing an amazing job with developing Cardano and deserves a round of applause. So yeah, similar to the second post, just making sure that people keep their expectations in check. At the same time, to be a contrarian, it's understandable that investors have qualms about deadlines and this and that. It's money being invested, and, you know, making sure that everyone is accountable. And sometimes companies, sometimes people miss the mark, and you just have to roll with it. But it's okay to voice criticism as well.
Yeah, I get upset too. I mean, I get frustrated and go, it's delayed again. Okay. But I also reflect and say, well, it is a brand new technology. And I love how Charles Hoskinson puts that out and say, hey, we're building something that never existed before. Yeah. So to be completely fair, I have to say, you know what? He's right. You know, so, yeah. You know, I have nothing to compare it to. Although we call it blockchain 3.0, it's not like we copy and pasted 1.0. 1.0 is like, that's the one that needs to go. You know, that's the one. Yeah. No, not needs to go. It'll be around for a very, very, very long time, but it's the one that needs some, you know, 3.0 is where we need to go with this.
Yes, definitely.
That's all I'm saying. And it's going to take time. It's going to take time.
Yes.
It's like we've compared it to many other programs like air travel, space flight, the building of, you know, nuclear power and solar power. You know, solar power barely existed when I was a little kid. Now I see it on all these roofs out here. It took time to get there.
Yes.
It took time to get there.
Yes.
When I was a kid, it was more of a novelty.
Yes.
It was very inefficient, and it wasn't production ready.
Yeah.
And now there's thousands of houses out here with solar panels on the roof. So Cardano is going to take some time.
Yes. Agreed.
All right. Let's see. Any questions? We'll check questions. We'll come back over to Reddit. And that was taking a step back. Oh, the next one's a big one. Big news here. Okay, so let's read this one and we'll come back over and check chat.
Okay.
Exciting news. Strategic partnership between Cardano Foundation and Confetti. So Confetti, and I read up on this one and did some research. Confetti is a Berlin-based blockchain venture studio. Philippe, I just got to tell you right out of the gate, I'm so glad to see the Cardano Foundation building these partnerships. Now, I don't know Confetti well, except I went to the webpage and I'm very pleased with what I've read. I am not certified to assess companies, but I'm really glad to see the Cardano Foundation building these strategic partnerships, because there's about 12 or 13 people at the Cardano Foundation. I went on their webpage. They got 19 people at Confetti. That's a lot of resources.
Yes.
Plus they got 9 job openings.
Yes.
They're ready to grow.
They are. I mean, I'd like to add to that I don't know much. I did a little bit of background research on Confetti, and they are a private company, so they haven't received any funding, no series funding or venture capitalist funding. But, you know, it seems like it's a new company, and this is something that this may be a place where we need to be, because one of their partners is the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. So Ethereum is partnering with them. So, you know, if Ethereum is partnering with them and Cardano is also partnering with them, I guess it's a good partnership to be in that space and have those connections and whatever is being offered. So it would be nice to hear more details about what plans that they have in the future. But these things are always so kind of tight-lipped, and we're going to just have to wait in the months coming to see what grows.
Yeah, Philippe, you know, you got a good point. And what we could do, if the viewers would like, we could put an offer for Confetti to come on a podcast, but all of our offers are private. Yeah. That way, if they want to decline, they can. And we never ask about NDAs.
Yeah.
We'll never ask about an NDA. So if someone from Confetti wants to come on, please let us know, reach out. And if all of our communication will be private. So if they come on, great. If they don't come on, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But there will be more information. I'm okay with small companies. Realistically, smaller companies are higher risk. There is a risk involved with doing that. But I'm also okay with grow your own. I like the grow your own philosophy, where if you say, hey, we've got a small company that's really working hard to work, they have a list of clients on their webpage. They have a large number of employees. For a small company, 19 employees is a lot of people. And I'm not trying to sell them to you, but what I'm saying, there is some risk there, but also you have the opportunity to grow your own relationships. If you take on a partnership with Facebook, everyone would like to see, oh, we partnered with Facebook and Cardano's going to moon. Cardano's Facebook would be like the 800-pound gorilla in the room. They would be very difficult to go an independent direction once you have an 800-pound gorilla in the room, if you know what I mean. You guys heard that expression before?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
No. You make valid points.
You can't tell them what to do. If you have a small company that's the same size as your company, you can collaborate, and I think that's a good thing. If it was a big, gigantic company, it would be kind of like, no, we're going to do whatever we want.
Yes. No, it's good. So, I mean, these are the type of things that Cardano Foundation, they're supposed to be building partnerships. So we'll see, obviously many partnerships are going to be formed over the next few years, and we'll see what the products are. So we just have to stay tuned.
Yeah. And check out the article from Bakit Azemkanov. I'm sorry if I got your name wrong, Bakit, but Bakit has the article. That's where the Reddit link leads you to. And you can read more information about the partnership between the Cardano Foundation and Confetti Ventures. And I think that's fantastic news. I am so happy to see the progress. I tell you, I'm excited about it. I'm cautiously optimistic, to use that overused phrase. There's a comment in the chat from Adil Siddiqui, and Adil says, 150,000 ADA is a good amount? Question. That was a question. I can't answer for what's a good amount, but you can add 10,000 to that bag if you participate in a competition that started in episode 39. So for anybody who's just now dialing in, at the beginning of the podcast, we put out that episode 39 has the beginning of a competition. Philippe and I do not know how it works. We had trusted third party build the competition. It launched in episode 39. So check out episode 39. And maybe if you team up with other people, or if you're very, very clever, you might win 10,000 ADA if you can solve the puzzle.
And I just want to remind everyone who's putting these comments of how much ADA is in their wallet and is it a good amount? That's subjective. I've said that in a couple episodes ago. It all depends on your goals. No one can tell you what the right amount of ADA for you is. You may want like 1 million or 10 million or 100 million ADA, and you have plans for that. Or you may just want to pay off a little bit of debt. You may want a few ADA, or you may just have like 100 ADA, and then that's good for you. Everyone's at different stages in their lives. Some people are children and they don't have money to invest. Some people are in college, they don't have money to invest. Some people are at this stage and they have a family, they don't have money to invest. And some people are just trying to become moguls. So you have to figure out what you want, do some price research, try to figure out what a realistic number for ADA would be in the future. Look at your goals and plan accordingly. But I can't tell you that. Rick can't tell you that. We don't know your lifestyles, and you have to make your own decision. So 150,000 is plenty for a lot of people, and it's not a lot for a lot of people as well. So there's both spectrums. So, no one can answer that question. But you can go on adascan.net and look at your rank. So if you want to rank yourself, you can go rank yourself. And sometimes that helps people put in perspective. But remember, this is your journey. You figure out what you want and invest accordingly.
Yes, thanks for that, Philippe. And it looks like we have in the chat, Max Power showed up. He's the guy who likes to antagonize on Charles' channel. He's not a troll. He just has controversial comments sometimes. There's a few questions there that ADA is collapsing. We talked about that at the beginning of the episode. All of the altcoins are down, not just ADA. They're all down. So For the other viewers, Max, you might find him mildly entertaining. He's a frequent flyer on Charles Hoskinson's AMAs.
Yes.
All right. So what's next on the list here? We had the strategic partnership with the Cardano Foundation and Confetti. So probably more to follow on that on future episodes of the Cardano Effect.
And just real quick, because Max also said something about the lines of the market is never wrong. Well, the market's wrong all the time. It reaches a state of equilibrium after some point. Amazon, the stock went from like $100 to like $15 in 2000, and now it's well over $1,000. So the market is wrong all the time. It takes time for it to reach equilibrium and figure out what people want. Right now, the market's wrong because people don't know what they're investing in, and they don't understand cryptocurrency as a whole. That's why the market is wrong. You can have an argument in 10 years or 5-10 years, but people don't know what cryptocurrency is. People don't know what Bitcoin is. So how can the market be correct? Like, people don't understand what's going on whatsoever. So the market is completely wrong.
Yeah, markets could definitely look at the price of Bitcoin SV. Really? The market's definitely wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. So, take that's, yeah.
Hey, I can make fun of a coin if I want. I like all others, but that one's going to get the poke.
Yeah. No, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make
Bitcoin Cash is so much faster. Really? Why didn't Bitcoin Cash replace Bitcoin?
Yeah.
I love to see I love seeing Roger Ver on his Bitcoin Cash thing. I'd love to have him on the podcast.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
It'd be great. It would be great to have him on.
Yeah. that would be a fun podcast.
It would. God. What a fireball. All right. So
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. We're going to the next one. That was
all right.
Is it the Cardano is on a hiring spree?
Yes, that's the one.
Right on. Cardano is on a hiring spree. IOHK has always had many job listings on there, and as they get filled, it continues to grow. I think when I first got involved, IOHK had about 60 employees, and now they're 200 employees. The Cardano Foundation had about 5 employees, and now I think it's over 12. Emergo has grown significantly. So if you follow those links, if you go to any of their websites, cardanofoundation.org, careers tab, the Emergo careers tab, and the IHK, there are a lot of job listings there. We'd love to have you working on the project for all those people out there who are motivated, developers, marketers, business planners. There's lots of jobs in the Cardano system listed on the websites.
Yes.
And there's the link doesn't go to those web pages, but that's how you can get there. There's a lot of good comments on Reddit about there from Damon on the Sea.
Yes.
And that post was from Sandra C. So any questions in chat, comments? People out there saying, I do see on Telegram people saying, is Cardano hiring, is IOHK hiring, specifically IOHK and Emergo? Yes, they're hiring. Check out the web pages.
Yes. I'm looking for comments.
All right. And while you're looking for comments, there is a comment for Cardano Simply Explained. That will be our next topic on there. That's a YouTube video.
Okay.
Anything in the chat that we need to talk with people about? Oh, it looks like people are having fun with Max Power now. Great.
Okay. So we'll let that happen. But Cardano Simply Explained, I did not watch that video.
I did. It was fantastic. All right. Yeah, and I'm not just going to pimp it and say, oh, it was great. Here's what Cardano Simply Explained. Well, for one thing, Simply Explained makes many, many videos. Over 200,000 people have watched this video already. Simply Explained does many different projects. They are very proficient. This particular video is, if you take the original Charles Hoskinson whiteboard video from about October of 2017, they've compressed it down to 8 minutes and put a bunch of video aids, visual aids. So basically, it takes that 40-minute video, compresses it to 8, puts in the visual aids, and goes through it at a steady but rapid pace. Excellent video. Highly recommend Simply Explained. I try to do that on my other YouTube channel. Philippe does that on his channel. We try to simply explain things, but I do got to give a shout out. They are pros. So check out their YouTube channel. You will certainly enjoy the video. And if there's a new person, it would be a good video for a new person who has a basic understanding of crypto. That particular video, you got to have a basic understanding of what cryptocurrencies are.
Yes.
And that video would make a lot more sense. But if you have no idea what crypto is, or it might take a little bit more to get into, but great video.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to have to check that out on my free time. That's awesome. That is awesome. The next one, we have an article from a post from Trade Feed saying that the New York Times research confirms that Africa is a leading growth engine of the world for decades to come. Cardano has a very bright future. I did not read that article, but yes, I mean, Africa is an emerging economy and there's a lot of opportunity there. And I think that IOHK is trying to create their own niche within the developing world. So that's always good to hear.
It is. And the article goes into, there's a lot of opinion in that article, author's opinion. I can't speak for author's opinion, but the article reviews about the last 10 years of economic collapse, or 11 years since 2008. It also reviews the economic activity over the last couple of decades, which all points towards Africa has a potential in a growing market, which I think is why IOHK and the Cardano Foundation are very forward-looking and very forward-thinking by engaging in Africa. We've got John O'Connor there on the scene in Africa, managing operations, and that was a long time ago. That's been well over a year and a half since IOHK has been working in Africa, and I think that was brilliant.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we have a full episode on that.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and it looks like in the chat, if Max Power gets carried away, we might have to throttle him back. That's not censorship. That's just good management. That's called moderation. That's why they have that feature that says, silence that guy. If the guy's going to be a complete jerk, we'll just have to put him on timeout.
Yeah. And, if you don't like the project, that's all on you. It's not a big deal. No one's feelings are hurt. You can press the sell button. You can press the buy button whenever you want. Take autonomy over your funds and pick the best project you choose. There are a lot of projects out there, and maybe Cardano is not the one for you. But on this podcast, we talk about all the tech that's going on within Cardano, and you can make your informed decision. We just are really passionate about this project. And once again, like Rick said, there are going to be a lot of winners at the end. Quite a few winners. I wouldn't say a lot, but it's like languages. It's not going to be just one. So we'll see who stands at the end, and that's it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of projects out there, not all of them. So we do criticize Cardano when it's necessary. For example, Emergo HK. What's going on there? Who knows, right?
Yes.
When there's an information vacuum, nobody knows what's going on.
No one knows what's going on.
So
we can just speculate. We can just speculate.
So we can only speculate. That's not good in blockchain. So let's touch on that subject, and we're going to wrap up. We'll take any more comments that are in chat. If you guys have comments, please let us know. We don't know what's going on with Emergo HK. It kind of went radio silent there around the end of April. I don't know where the employees are. I don't know how many employees they have. It's not FUD. It's just reality. I don't know what's going on.
Yes.
When there's an information vacuum in cryptocurrency, that's bad. That is not good. If you have an information, cryptocurrencies do two things, okay? Money and communicate with the people who are handling that money. And if you lose the communicate side of the problem, good luck.
Yes, exactly.
Not going to bode well for you.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's all about investor confidence, and it's being as transparent as possible. So when there's a vacuum, you have to figure out what's going on. I think the investors have a right to figure out what's going on. And, there are disagreements all the time. People fall in and out of business relationships, but statements need to be put out. Clarification needs to be provided. And that's the way to move the project forward in a healthy manner.
Yes, and businesses ebb and tide. Just because a business, if it dies off, then it dies off. I mean, I wish they would all stay online, but look at all the brick and mortar stores when I was younger. Montgomery Ward is gone. There used to be Montgomery Ward in every town. You guys probably don't even know what Montgomery Ward is. It's kind of like Sears. Guess what? Sears invented the Sears catalog. Sears basically invented remote shopping, basically invented online shopping. Sears is going away. Amazon's taking all their business. It's all moving online, right?
Yeah.
At least that's in the U.S. and probably other countries are doing the same thing. So, businesses come into existence and they disappear. If they disappear, then good luck with your new business after that.
Yes. Yes. And it's important to know why they disappeared, though, because sometimes things don't appear as they seem, especially when we're talking about money and there's poor management or things are going left and right. I know I read an article the other day about General Electric, and they have a whole accounting fraud issue, and they've been changing the numbers on their books, and money is being over-reported, under-reported, and affecting the stock price. That's really bad. That's really bad. And this is the type of thing that if someone was like a whistleblower, like probably 10 years ago when this first started happening, then this problem would have been completely solved and it wouldn't have led to a gigantic problem years down the road. And these are the things that happen with money. You leave a little problem under the rug and that 1 0 turns into 2 zeros over time, 3 zeros. And at the end of five years, when the project's grown all this amount, all of a sudden, what happened to this? What happened to that? What happened to this? That's a huge issue. That's a huge issue. So I don't know. I
totally agree with you. When you have these big companies and there's a whistleblower out there, you have to treat the whistleblowers, in my opinion, with a little bit of fairness and a little bit of skepticism. You got to balance the two. You got to balance the fairness and the skepticism when you have a whistleblower, because you got big companies or you got companies that crash, and that whistleblower might be the only one indication or the only one tripwire that you had to say, hey, something's going wrong over there. Mm-hmm. And in crypto, it's, there's so much shady stuff out there, man. Oh my God. It's like weeding through. You got to find the gold nugget and all that dirt. There's all this dirt you got to dig through and say, oh yeah, here's a good company right here that's reliable. You got a lot of people out there taking high risk and calling themselves entrepreneurs and experts, and they're not.
Yeah. 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 I
like
mean,
me.
No, Ricky. No,
I'm an
Ricky.
expert podcaster.
Rick, I consider you a Cardano expert. I consider you a Cardano expert, and you have a lot of knowledge in crypto. You have a lot of knowledge in crypto. So
you see what happens? I make mistakes. We were recording a podcast yesterday that's coming out later this week, episode 41, with Lars and Paulina, and I said something really stupid. I can't remember what it was. I'm going to pay for that. I said something like, isn't Plutus not Turing complete? And it was like, no. Listen, guys, I ask the dumb questions so that you don't have to. I'll bear that cross.
Oh my goodness.
It was bad.
Yeah, no.
It's not going to be edited out. It's going to be in there. We can't take that out. It's got to stay in there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So what else here?
Questions?
No, we got too much blathering from Max Power. You're going to have to shut that guy down.
Come on, man. Like, this is a Sunday.
He's like, Rick, you can hide like a car behind or moderating. There's a reason there's a delete button.
You got to chill out.
They put it on there for a reason.
Yeah, just
go bug some other project. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. They might not have a podcast like we do. Haha. Don't worry, trolls. Trolls, you can't win. It takes me a couple seconds to click the delete button.
And anyone who bought ADA is very likely to be deep underwater. Most people are underwater right now. People were underwater for years with Bitcoin. Everyone's underwater. This is not something unique. So, make your financial decisions and be nice. Be nice. It's Sunday. How can you be this angry? Like, It's the weekend. So, you guys, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Do you want to wrap it up, Rick? I think this was a good episode.
Yeah, we hit our hour point here.
Okay.
And we covered a lot of topics, a lot of ground, and hopefully we got information out to people who got engaged. They get to engage and have fun. Hopefully it was been more fun in getting the media out there.
Yes. So, everyone, make sure that you update data list. It's looking clean. You can follow us on Twitter. Please hit subscribe if you like what we're doing or you don't like what we're doing. Still hit subscribe. Keep in contact with what's happening here. We're going to try our live streams once a week. So this is the third week we're doing it, and we enjoy it. I think there's a lot of information that happens within a week period. You always think that you're not going to be able to run a complete podcast, but it seems like we have more than enough content. Everything is happening constantly. So with that, keep subscribed to us on YouTube and follow us on Twitter. Reach out to us on Telegram. We have a few special announcements that will be coming out this week. And Rick has mentioned that we do have a 10,000 ADA contest. Go to episode 39 with Professor Simon Thompson, and there is a clue there. We don't know what's going on. We delegated this to a trusted third party, and we can't answer any of the questions because we don't really know what's going on. But there is a prize. So once again, everyone, I hope that you have a beautiful weekend. Have a beautiful week. Enjoy your week. I know markets are down. I know times are tough. And eventually this will turn around and we'll all be smiling. I'm smiling right now. The prices are great. None of what we said is financial advice. Make your own financial decisions. Or if you don't want to invest, that's fine as well. No one's pressuring you. Learn about the project. Learn about what cryptocurrency is. It's here to stay. And hopefully Cardano hits the top. And with that, Rick?
Yeah, I had one other thing. I wanted to put a plug for the Cardano trading channel. If you ever want to have a laugh, check out the Cardano trading channel. They're always in good spirits, even when the market's down. But they're funny. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you ever want to have a laugh, check it out. The sense of humor over there is fantastic. I love it. If I remember like, the price is bad, blah, blah, blah. I go to the trading channel, I have a laugh and say, okay, I'm good.
Good. Okay.
And that's all I got for you guys today.
All right.
Have a great day. Aloha.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you later next time.